Hey everyone, today's video is about beauty contests, but not the kind where someone's walking down a runway in sequins throwing finger hearts at the judges. No, this is about roosters. Glamorous, competitive, petty roosters. Right now you're standing in a barn that smells like a blend of hair gel, sawdust, and chicken feed. The coup couture has begun, and you probably won't survive the level of drama these birds are about to unleash. One has airbrushed plumage. Another is wearing custom claw covers that sparkle under fluorescent lights. Their ancestors were literally bred to fight in rings, feathers flying, crowds screaming. Cockfighting goes back centuries, especially in places like ancient Greece, where Athenians used rooster duels to teach boys about courage. She's back as a guest judge, sitting smugly beside a human handler and wearing a diamond tiara designed by a local jeweler who takes avian symmetry very seriously. She fluffs her feathers and side-eyes every contestant like yes, deciding who gets voted off the island. Contestants are expected to pose on a rotating platform while light jazz plays. But suddenly the music cuts out, and so does the power. In the darkness, you hear a scream, followed by flapping, and the unmistakable sound of feathers being yanked out at Mach speed. When the lights flicker back on, there's chaos. One bird now has a glowing tail. Glowing, as in someone has snuck in fiber optic enhancements. They even gave it a lawyer and dressed it in human clothes for court. So, the idea of giving roosters performance scores and disqualifying one for overly emotional wing movement is honestly mild. Literally. Cluck Norris is puffed up like a parade float, wings stretched out with enough force to knock over a toddler. Opposite him, Princess Beakerella is pristine, motionless, as if carved by an ancient deity obsessed with chicken geometry. The lights dim. The crowd leans in. The judges announce a strut-off between Cluck Norris and Princess Beakerella, who's been suspiciously quiet and suspiciously symmetrical all night. The actual track from a girl group's recent comeback, and Beakerella starts strutting to the beat like she's been secretly trained by backup dancers. Headlines read, Beakerella breaks the internet with final Cluck and Cluck Norris demands recount after defeat by elegance. Fan art floods social media. A remix of the final strut hits TikTok. There's already merch. The crowd explodes. Cameras flash. Someone throws confetti. You think you see a chicken whisperer in the front row sobbing into a silk handkerchief? There are strobe lights, hayball couches, and a DJ playing techno remixes of classic farm sounds. Beakerella is perched on a gold stand surrounded by security tiny chicks in black vests and nods politely at her admirers. Weirdly inspiring. Cluck Norris is in the hot tub, surrounded by pigeons, loudly telling anyone who'll listen that he let her win. Tension builds, the stage sparkles, the crowd goes silent. The barn descends into pure, glorious chaos. You lose your shoe. Someone's rooster gets a temporary tattoo. No one leaves before sunrise. He's got a scar over his left eye, a swagger in his step, and rumors trailing him like tail feathers. The last beats of techno still thumped faintly from inside, but your world has gone quiet peaceful in a feathery kind of way. Beakerella's final cluck echoes in your head, lingering like a lullaby. You smile. Somewhere out there, chickens are preening, prepping, dreaming of their own big stage moment. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be there to witness it again. For now, though, close your eyes, breathe in that dusty dawn air, and let the fluff settle. His handler wears sunglasses indoors and speaks only in vague metaphors. There's heated debate. One is gesturing wildly with a chicken-shaped pen. Another appears to be texting Lady Peckham under the table. And then the decision. A tie. You overhear, he's not here to win. He's here to make a statement. Whatever that means. The sound of flapping fills the air. Glitter rains down like confetti. Each bird is given 15 seconds to vocalize their essence. Cluck Norris belts out a guttural war cry that echoes off the barn rafters and triggers two dogs outside to start howling. Beakerella, on the other hand, leans into the mic, tilts her beak, and lets out a sound so delicate, so hauntingly melodic, that your knees actually buckle a little. Welcome to the world's most absurd and fabulous pageant. A handler is whispering affirmations to his bird. You're majestic. Own that coop. There are 5 categories: crest, height, tail, poise, beak, symmetry, comb, swagger, and freestyle personality parade. Think dog show meets RuPaul's Drag Race, but the queens are poultry and you? You're standing next to a pile of what looks suspiciously like black market tail extensions. Security footage reveals that one handler was caught injecting tail fluff with flexible LED tubing. Another performs what looks like an interpretive dance about betrayal. And then comes Big Caesar, a hulking rooster bred in the Andes and trained on opera. He opens his beak hand, sings. It's not well, not in tune. But it's definitely more than clucking. The judges look horrified. One whispers, "Is this legal?" The crowd turns vicious. People chant, "Pluck the cheater." Security chickens, yes. Actual hens in tiny barrettes escort the suspect out. And the stakes are terrifyingly high. Winner gets a lifetime supply of organic corn and a gilded perch for Instagram photo shoots. There's a velvet stage at the center with 3 stools for judges, one of whom is a retired kindergarten teacher turned poultry influencer. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you really like what I do here. Post your location and local time down below. We're building a weird global flock. Now, turn off the lights, maybe turn on the fan for some soothing noise, and let's watch today's video. You're shuffling sideways through a row of overstyled cages, each one containing a gamecock who looks like it just left a spa in Beverly Hills. But don't let the rhinestones fool you. These birds are gladiators and glitter. In the modern makeover, though, it's all about looks, strut, and fluff volume. And meet last year's winner, Lady Peckham. Suddenly, a handler screams his bird has just flown the coop. You're trying to recover from the glitter storm when the next disaster struts right in Cluck Norris, the reigning bad boy of the Gamecock circuit. The drama goes from mild to mayhem during the tail poise segment. The judge gasps. Lady Peckham faints. Turns out, the sabotage was real. But wait, it gets weirder. During the comb swagger round, contestants are judged on how confidently they strut with their heads high. One bird moonwalks. Now let's pause for a real blast from the past. In 1386, France held a literal trial for a pig who was accused of murder. Back on stage, it's tie time. Then Cluck Norris rips off his feather boa and crows like a banshee. You blink, the internet will never be the same again. You're still clutching your phone mid-live stream when the final strut begins. Then boom K-pop music drops, not a remix. The judges huddle. What happens next defies logic, biology, and probably for laws of physics. The tiebreaker is a cluck-off. She wins. Instantly, the world knows. The video goes viral. But the real cherry on top, the after party. You somehow score an invite and wind up in a luxury barn-turned-nightclub. Then, someone slips on spilled corn mash and accidentally pecks the sound system with their elbow, triggering an auto loop of Rooster screams mixed with EDM, and as you finally stumble out under the early pink sky, feathers in your hoodie and glitter on your eyelids, you whisper to yourself, "That was." The barn fades behind you now, just a silhouette of absurdity and pride in the soft morning light. End of script. Thanks for following along.